Good morning and good night. Thanks again for downloading the Body Snatchers podcast. And when you listen, stream, or download straight to your device, Castbox is your best option. Remember, if you like what you hear today, don't forget to subscribe and comment. So let's get started. Enjoy the show.
All right, good morning and good night. Welcome to the show, guys. As you know, this world is always changing. And it's no secret you either evolve or perish. Of course, I'm referring to us, as we are now known as Body Snatchers Media, giving you content everywhere and anywhere you go. bodysnatchersmedia.com. Want to thank you guys for downloading or streaming the show. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Castbox, Podbean being the homies this week because we are Podcast of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know.
It's awesome.
We love those guys, giving them a shout out. Great app, great people. We are humble, of course. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Great things happening there. Guest spots and tomfoolery. So hit the sub if you haven't already. So enough with the plugs today. Look, this game I want to talk about. I've only played it for like a week, but I played it for a week straight. Apex Legends. I want to go through my experience. I also want to try and defend the battle royale genre as a whole. If you don't like that, just at me. Everywhere. Just at me. Even places I'm not. Go ahead and at me. Not only that, I'm finally back. I haven't been on for a while. I am Steve Not Here, your host. Today, along with me is John the Jackal Harris. John, say hi to the good people, please.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's been a while, I feel like, since we've been on the show together.
Oh, yeah. Last show we did was The Punisher. That did pretty good.
Yeah, man, that was the last show. Crazy.
Hopefully we have people on here that just support us and hate Tino, and especially Gia.
Hopefully. Gia's kind of cool, but Tino.
Yeah, Jay is cool. He's not very good at Smash Bros, which everyone already knows, but he's pretty cool. All right, so people have been telling me to try this game, and I've been ignoring them because Fortnite gets frustrating to me. It's most of the time you don't win, and all the tryhards are going to be like, well, it's because you're garbage. Well, I'm a little garbage, but if I have a full squad of people and I feel like it's not going anywhere for a couple days, then, I don't want to build, so I'm not going to build. But you have to build, so it's kind of troublesome for me to play it.
No, I agree, and I fully admit to everybody that I am trash at Fortnite. Like I kind of enjoy it, but I can only enjoy it so much because I just cannot get it. Like I just can't. But the game itself is fun if you're into that. There's a few battle royales that we can choose from. Namely, the one we're talking about today is Apex. So
and right, because you're in the shooters. You're not into building. That's a shooter with a gimmick.
Yeah.
You don't. Now you don't have to play that because Apex is here. It's a high quality game and it's locked down the importance of squad co-op like nobody's business.
Yeah. And it came out of nowhere, dude. Like, I don't even think Respawn, which for a sec, let's just give a round of applause to Respawn because they've been dropping some pretty good games. I know not everyone was in the Titanfall, but they have just been solid games, really good gameplay. Gunplay has been awesome. So. But yeah, anyway, Apex came out of nowhere, and it's a free-to-play game, and the graphics are beautiful, the gunplay is good. Like, there's not much to complain about for this game.
And we're not the only ones. It's not like we're going against the grain here. We're not hipsters of any kind. This game is blowing up. And since you pretty much played almost every battle royale game there is, I mean, do you hate the mode? Do you like the mode?
I enjoy Battle Royale. The only new one that I think I haven't necessarily played yet has been, at least available for consoles, has been the Black Ops Battle Royale for Call of Duty. But I enjoy the mode, and it's even better when you can play with friends who communicate well and play well together. Because Apex, I've played a ton of games, and there's been times when I've won with people who I'm not even on the mic with, but we just kind of, we work well together and we're watching each other's backs so we can make sure that we either get the kills that we need to get or, nobody's being downed or left behind. And then I've played with other people who I am on the mic with, and, it just hasn't worked out that great just because we don't vibe together when we play. So It's
that's always a situation. Apex is a 3-man squad, 60 players a match.
mhm.
I really do think that the battle royal concept, because Tetris is doing it too now. I know you don't have a Switch, but there's a Tetris game on there to where you're up against 99 players at once.
Interesting.
It is fun, and the basic Tetris is just always fun. But when you're going up against 99 other people and it gets faster, and you got 40 people left and 20 people left, it gets really exciting for like no reason. But
Yeah.
to get back to Apex, you're absolutely right. You have to communicate, because if you don't, you're at a disadvantage. So say you and just one other person in your party, you are communicating with, and you get a random every match. The thing I think you have to do is you either got to invite them and just bite the bullet and meet new people. I know a lot of people out there are introverts, but
Mhm.
either that or you just got to follow this guy and you got to protect him. He's your Batman. You guys are the Robins. You got to just have his back and follow him where he goes. He's a leader.
Yeah, I can agree with that to some extent because um, once you kind of get a vibe, I mean, it's a very short time period to tell how good of a player someone is going to be, like within the first couple minutes, because first of all, you're looting and then you're trying to figure out where's the next place to loot. Because for whatever reason, this game is, I feel like there are just certain areas where there's no loot and you are just left hanging and just waiting to be shot by somebody who dropped in the area with way better loot than you.
Right,
Um,
single player would be it's almost impossible to win if you're just by yourself and you're playing with two randoms, even if they are a team. It's just really hard. But before we get into the gameplay, let's get to the characters.
yeah,
Uh,
let's do it.
yeah. So the first one is Wraith. Is that how you say
Wraith?
her name? Wraith.
Wraith.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wraith.
Wraith. So we have Wraith, Pathfinder. We have Octane, which is a newer character, by the way. Mirage, who I like Mirage's power. Lifeline, who she's pretty awesome. She's my go-to character. I've always liked support characters anyway.
Right.
Gibraltar, big heavy dude with a lot of armor. Caustic, which his fucking traps are annoying, but they are useful if they're on your side.
They are fun, and keep in mind Mirage and Caustic, they are micro transaction, but you can accumulate currency during the game, and it takes about roughly to 15 to 20 hours to unlock them.
Which isn't bad. I mean, if you're playing the game hardcore, most of those people had them unlocked within the first week.
No, compared to what I think it was Battlefront, to where they said it was over 100 hours to unlock a character, and that was
Yeah.
only one.
Something
So
ridiculous.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Octane is also a newer character, which you do have to unlock, but you can lock them with in-game currency that you earn. And then last but not least, we have, or I'm sorry, Bloodhound, and then we also have Bangalore. Sorry, I couldn't get that one out.
Bangalore, Bangladesh, whatever you want.
Right.
You got the game. It's your game.
Exactly. So those are our characters for now, and they all have like the little quirks and useful skills
Now,
for the battle.
Yeah, so they all have usually I haven't played as many as you. The Battle Royale games are strictly cosmetic bonuses. So you can get them by buying them, you get them by earning them, but they're all just cosmetic. It's how you look. These characters all have abilities that are so different from one another. You manipulate them on the different just a different technique you got with your squad. You got to have a position. Like my favorite is my Jamaican goddess, Lifeline, of course.
Yeah.
Not only does she put up a shield while she picks you up, but she has the ability to heal the entire squad by a little droid looking MF. You know, it's just a little pod. It gets out and then it puts tubes in you and it heals you, which is pretty cool, especially if you're in a firefight. All the abilities have a cooldown and they're special finishers, ultimate weapons, whatever you want to call it. She summons a pod capsule. It's a care package, so it's going to come down from the sky, and other people are going to be able to see it. So you gotta do it at the right moment. And when it opens, it has 4 pods of high level gear for you and your team, which I think is super useful. So I try and be Lifeline whenever I can. If not, I'm Bloodhound, the recon dude.
Yeah, Bloodhound special is kind of cool. You can track footsteps of enemy players in your area. I do like Bloodhound. He's a good one to have, as long as someone knows how to use him. And that's kind of the thing with this game, is that with each character, since they do all have their own special abilities, certain people are just going to gravitate towards them and play really well with them. Like Lifeline, I feel like I play really well with, but like Pathfinder, for instance, I don't like Pathfinder. I don't like his specialty, but I've seen other people use him and, be completely awesome with him. So you just kind of have to find what's going to be good for you.
And Pathfinder is a robot with grappling abilities, which is cool. And his finisher is a zip line that can bring everyone where he is. So if he puts a zip line way above a building or way above a mountain, everyone can follow him and go up there. I mean, enemies can follow him too, but I think it's still pretty cool. Plus, he gets in touch with these survey beacons that are around the map, and if he connects himself to them, he can find the smaller circle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like where the next circle is going to be. So you can I got more time to be there. You can post up, and if you got a good sniper, you can just knock him out for a long time.
Yep. So, yeah, Pathfinder's pretty cool. Wraith is really cool. I like her special ability. I'm still trying to get used to it because I'm trying to make her my second go-to character.
Yeah. Wraith, if you're a beginner and the only responsibility you want is handing out death moments left and right, then that's who you're going to be until you grow up to another person, or you just want to be the badass enforcer of the squad. That's Wraith. Wraith is a killer.
Yeah.
Creating portals that you and your team can go through is super useful, especially when you have full communicating squad. You can get away, that they won't catch up to you, or you can get behind them and just try and pick them off.
Yeah.
So it's a solid pick. I feel like you need at least one in every squad.
She is very good for flanking. So I totally like having a Wraith on the team.
Oh, definitely.
But
now,
go ahead.
Well, if we're done with the characters, let's just talk about the basic drop, the beginning. So when you see the map, you're in a bus or whatnot, and the map has something called a hotspot aspect on the map, where they have a little blue circle, and that's where they put the rare, powerful items. So it's on the map. So if someone wants to just go in there and try and get those items, they're going to be fighting with like 20 other people. So most likely you'll either get some good items and kill 5 people, or you're going to die right when you drop. So it's really up to you. They also got a drop ship that's randomly flying around that people jump on too. So it's 2 spaces that are going to have good gear, or you go somewhere quiet and of course you accumulate your gear slowly.
Right. Yep. I mean, that's pretty much it. And those, I really feel like, I don't know if we've gotten to this point yet, but I really feel like they took elements of 2 of the more popular ones. So PUBG, or popular battle royale. So PUBG and, what was it?
Fortnite.
Thank you. Fortnite. And they just kind of took those elements and just made them a little bit better. 'Cause I do like the idea of the drop ship over like care packages like you'd get in PUBG.
I like the Jump Master.
Jump Master is kind of cool too. And if you got a lazy teammate who doesn't really care to try to parachute far out like you do in PUBG.
Right. So let's the gear is the same here as it is in everywhere else. You have your common, blue, purple, legendary, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I know the legendary or gold, it has special perks along with being overpowered.
Right. So that kind of came from that's similar to Fortnite versus PUBG, because PUBG doesn't do that. More of their weapons and add-ons and accessories and stuff for firearms are more realistic. So
right.
Yeah.
No magic, no fun, no fun allowed.
Exactly.
So yeah, some of them, the one I had, it lets you heal faster, and then I know there's one out there that lets you even pick yourself back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's actually really cool. They made Apex they let you have an identity with these characters now. It's not just stuff that you can earn and buy to make you look you have different patterns, or you have different jetpacks, or your little robot that Lifeline has looks different.
Yeah, all the cosmetic stuff. I mean, there's a lot more useful stuff. I feel like they put just enough in this game. You know what you want for specific guns, because certain accessories only fit certain guns as well, which is nice. Which, granted, you do get that in the other battle royale games, but you know exactly what you're looking for. And if you kind of dwindle it down to just the basic accessories or stuff for your firearms and body armor and stuff, there's not a huge selection. The selection is pretty small, but then you start adding the different levels to those same items, and it makes it seem like there's more, but there's not. They keep it very simple, if that makes sense. Like,
They do. And if you have a gun with a ton of mods and you find another gun, you can pick that gun up and automatically transfer the mods that are that can be used for your new gun.
yes,
The mods make all the difference.
Yes.
Like you can have a rifle, you can get it a bigger magazine, you can get it a scope, you can switch it from automatic to single shot, whatever that's called.
yeah.
But you can get a sniper rifle out of your regular rifle just by the scope and just by the barrel. And it's it's super interesting because you can only carry so many mods, and you can pick up these backpacks where you can have more mods and more ammo and more health and more shield repair kits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I that is probably one of my favorite features in this game, is that mods automatically switch over to other guns if they're either similar, or most optics will swap to any gun except like specific sniper rifle optics, I believe.
Right.
But it keeps the gameplay moving, because PUBG, that was one of the things I hated, because if you found a gun that so say if your first pickup was like just a basic gun that you didn't really care too much for, but it took the mods that you got, and then later on you kill an enemy and you discover that they have the exact gun that you wanted, you had to sit there and waste so much time swapping over all of the optics, magazine, stock, like all that stuff, and it was just it kind of takes you out of the gameplay. I mean, it adds a little bit of it kind of gives you an anxiety attack, because you're like, man, I don't want to get shot while I'm sitting here swapping over magazines and stuff. But that is definitely my favorite feature in this game. It keeps the gameplay going, and you don't have to waste time with something that I feel like is kind of pointless.
Another great feature that this game has that I believe nobody else did as well is the ping system. It is by far one of the coolest things about this game. It's so easy to ping a weapon, enemy, anything. I know in Fortnite, whenever you would see someone, you would have to call it out, like that little compass northwest south thing. Like there's someone at 166.
Yeah.
Everyone has to go around 166. They have to look in that general direction and get settled that way, or whatever. They would just have to adjust.
Yeah.
Now you just ping the asshole, and your whole squad knows where he is.
Yes, that pinging option is very nice. I mean, in PUBG, the compass worked very well, but the only flaw with that is if you're 100 yards away from your teammate and you call out an enemy at 130, their 130 isn't going to be the same as your 130. So it just makes
I never even thought of that.
Yeah, it just makes it even more difficult. But of course, that goes back to playing with people you're used to playing with, because then you can start calling out like little landmarks. But the pinging system in this game, and even the pinging works for items that your teammates find. So if your teammates know you're looking for a Prowler, which is one of the bullpup rifles in Apex, they can ping it for you, and then you in turn can call dibs on that item, so the ping stays until you cancel it or until you pick that item up. That's just such a refreshing feature, and it's not what's the word I'm looking for? But it just works really well. It was a well thought out.
And it does. And you don't even need to be verbal to use that ping. I mean, yeah. Whenever it's just me and another person, we have a random. We use the ping to let him know where to go, and most of the time it works.
Yeah, it does.
It's just a phenomenal feature. Now, those two features that we talked about were good. The one that I really like that just makes this a whole new game is when you die. I'm not talking about drop and you're crawling around. When you actually die, you get iced. You drop a banner,
Mm-hmm.
and if your teammate can pick that banner up, they can bring it to like a comm center or whatever, and you'll be revived and you'll jump right back into the game.
Yeah, that's nice.
And this is cool. So if two of your squad mates get killed, you can come up there, clear the room, get two of their banners, and throw them into comm centers, and they're going to come right back, and you're right back into square one, which I think is really cool, because I know in any other battle royale game, if you die,
You're done.
some of them just go back to the lobby and they get something to drink,
Mhm.
which is, it's very uneventful because you could still win if you're out. Your team could still do it. In this one, you're not out until everybody's out.
Right.
And I think that's a great concept. Just the idea that your whole squad isn't done until everybody is done is phenomenal.
Yeah, and it makes for some really awesome like clutch plays. So, if there's 2 out of 3 have gone down and your last teammate can, kill off the remaining enemies to be able to pick your banners up, just like you said, it's such a fun feature. Now, of course, there is a timeout for that banner pickup. And there also are only so many comm stations. So if you're getting pretty low, or not low, if you're getting towards the end of the match and the circles are closing in, if there's no comm station within that circle, then they can't put your banners in the comm station to get you revived.
And not only that, they could be so far away. It could be a whole game in itself, just you trying to get to the comm center.
Mhm.
And if I'm not mistaken, you need one for each banner, right? You can't just put 2 in one.
No, you can put 2 in 1. So
You
yeah,
can.
which is nice. The only thing is you do not respawn with the guns and the gear and the stuff that you had when you went down. All of your guns and ammo and stuff will stay in whatever box that you dropped when you died. So when you are revived, you can either try to find your box, or you have to start all over again, find guns, gear, and ammo.
Right. Well, once you die, you turn into one big loot crate of all your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, you can hope that your teammate that is still alive has some time to loot your crate and just kind of take all of your really good items, so that way they can be better equipped to defend you while you try to scrounge around for more gear after you've been revived.
Right. Heal up and then go get them back with the, So sometimes they have better guns. Equip it and go revive your person. The most important thing is that they're back in the game.
Yeah, because having an extra gun is always a positive.
All right, so who's your go-to?
For me, it's definitely Lifeline. Like I said earlier, I always love being a support character, so she is my go-to. I'd probably say my second is Wraith. I'm still trying to learn her character and her power, but I definitely enjoy her.
Yeah, I mean, Pathfinder's fun, but just be honest, he's agile and he has a gun, so you're not going to get a lot done with him.
Mm-hmm.
Between Bloodhound and Lifeline, those are mine, because Bloodhound, the recon dude, he can track, and he has those infrared abilities. Mm-hmm. So I think a scanner is super important. I mean, they can just watch your back everywhere and anywhere. And not only that, Bloodhound goes into a beast mode where he's all juiced up and he can see enemies through everything.
Yeah, that is a pretty awesome feature.
That's a good feature. That's a good feature where you're going into a house full of people and you just want to clear them out.
Yeah, or to make sure you're not walking into a trap too, because once you start getting down towards the end of the game, just like every other battle royale game, you can have enemies lurking inside houses and stuff, waiting for somebody to walk through.
Does camping even exist anymore? Do people people still cry?
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
camping definitely exists. But I mean, it's not as bad as like Call of Duty days of camping. It's in the battle royale game. Sometimes you just don't have a choice, because there's only so much cover to go around, and especially when the circles are closing in. I do like Apex because they give you a lot more cover to use throughout the map. PUBG, there's certain areas where that circle moves, it will drop you in a completely open area where there is no cover whatsoever. In Fortnite, of course, anybody can break through any cover, so there's that, or they can make their own cover, which I guess is kind of a trade off. But
Right. I can't snipe. I never minded that snipers like were hidden away. Isn't that what they're supposed to do? You expect them to run around and shoot?
yeah, I mean it makes sense, but when with Call of Duty, it was just, for me, I didn't like it because the maps were already small, and sometimes they weren't even always snipers. You just had someone who would sit in the corner of a room, like behind a plant or something, and just sit there and shoot people who are running around.
Well, another reason why Call of Duty is garbage is that it has a kill cam. So if you are sniping,
Yeah,
it gives you away to every person that you
true,
killed.
very true.
So either you got to keep moving, or you just, when they're trying to get you, you know that they're coming up to get
Yeah.
you. But either way, if you're trying to stay hidden away and you're a sniper, it gives your position away. Even if it doesn't, it shows them the direction the bullet's coming from.
True. So, but I mean, Apex is definitely it isn't super camper heavy, but I do like the map layout because the map layout has been good. We haven't gotten a new map yet, but I mean, how long has this game been out? It's not even anywhere near a year. It's only been a few months, right?
It's only been
And
a
it's
few
been
months, and
crushing
even
it.
this map isn't small by any means.
No, it isn't.
I mean, I would say it's bigger than the Fortnite map, right?
Ooh, that's a good question that I honestly don't know the answer to, and I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I don't know. They expanded that thing so much.
This map is still big, and your characters don't really have a lot of ways to move around quickly because Fortnite you can still move around fairly quickly with like portals and jump boxes and stuff like that. PUBG you have vehicles, so you can still get around pretty quickly. So this game, it's all on foot. There's no vehicles. There's no quick way to get around unless someone on your team has a wraith. But there's the wraith power can only go so far.
Right. Every ability has a cooldown
Exactly.
here,
So
including the ultimate. So that's Apex. One final thing I want to ask you is, you're on all of the Body Snatchers medias just like I am. We're reading it. We're talking to people. Why do so many haters hate the battle royale genre? And these are people that are fans of shooters. They play them nonstop. Why is it that they're giving it so much shade?
We've talked about it before. Haters always have the loudest voice in the room. So I feel like it's a lot of people who come from like that Call of Duty and Battlefield, type of gameplay, which, don't get me wrong, I love Battlefield, but Call of Duty specifically comes from or has people who don't like to play with teammates. Like, they do not play well in teams. They are all about getting the highest kill score, no matter whether their team loses or not. So they're not about it. And don't get me wrong, there's so many other shooters out right now. So it's like, why are you complaining about just a small portion of the shooter market? Because there's 3 battle royale games out right now that are specific to battle royale.
I think there's more than that. They got modes that they've included it. They put it they'll say it's 30 people and it's a battle royale mode.
Well, I meant specifically for battle royale. So like Apex, PUBG, Fortnite.
I think it's only people that, one, have never played it, or people that have played it a little and have a problem with it because they're garbage. And then there's people that have played it so much, like 10 hours a day, that they can't stand the sight of it anymore. And I was telling people, even when Fortnite came out and PUBG came out, I'm like, this is so cool. You're playing with 100 real people. You're playing with 60 real people. I mean, think about that. Think about where online was 20 years ago, where you would be playing Quake with like 6 people or 8 people. Now you're playing with 100 people.
It's crazy, dude. It's so crazy.
And nobody thinks about that. It's like, why are you so mad? you're in a city of players now.
And you know what? I'm thankful for it, because before this, I would usually try to avoid PvP games or game modes, because I would just, most of the time, because I would get wrecked or I just didn't enjoy it that much. But these 3 games have, like, they just do something for me that other games can't when it comes to PvP. So I enjoy the hell out of them. So I'm going to keep playing them.
People that got a real problem with losing, I don't think they like the Battle Royale game as much, because when you get to that last 10 or last 5 or last 2 squads and they lose, that's where the rage quits happen.
But, you know, even at the end of that, though, the nice thing is that the game turnaround is so quick, minus PUBG, because it takes like 3 weeks to fucking load into a game. But Apex has it right. It's just, you know, if you die, then you go straight back to the lobby and load back in. Usually, as long as you're quick about it, you can usually die and get back into a game within like a few minutes.
And it's a free game that it's fully unlocked. Just download it, play the fully unlocked game, and you're gonna wanna put a couple bucks into it, because you're gonna be playing it so much. That's just the way things are. These guys are so smart the way they did it. And no, not money isn't going to make you a better player. It's just going to give you another look. It's going to let you unlock things much faster, or you can unlock them the old fashioned way. Depends how much you're going to play. But this is probably my favorite shooter right now.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. It is an insanely fun game, and I'd recommend anybody play it.
At least until Borderlands 3 comes out. But this is an awesome game. All right, well, let's get out of here. Boys and girls, thank you for listening to the show. Feel free to come at us in the comments. We're not scared of any of you. Thanks for the support for the show by subscribing, following, telling some of your douchebag friends. Check us out. Also, swing by the Patreon account if you want to be a little more involved in the show. You'll also be thrown into a monthly patron exclusive giveaway. In addition, we're having a contest giveaway. Mortal Kombat 11. Free copy, my dudes. You do not want to miss that. So if you want more details on that, about everything that we do, you can find it at bodysnatchersmedia.com. Yep. So, got nothing else, John?
Yeah, man, we're getting out of here. It's good having a show with you again.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do it a lot more. I'm in it now. I'm alive. All right, that's it for John and Steve. Getting out of here, telling you to keep your squad close and don't get played.
Peace.